Can we just talk real quick about fashion and getting dressed in midlife? Because there was a time when I could just grab a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and feel really cute, enough to kind of leave the house in about 5 minutes. And then perimenopause, it shows up and it's like, hey, girl, we're going to change the rules and you're going to need to change your closet. It's like my body got together with itself and decided to kind of stop cooperating, and without my permission, by the way. Some days I'd be bloated by lunch. Some days I put on an outfit that technically fits, but it feels like a busting can of biscuits, if you know what I mean, right? And what kind of makes it all worse, though, right? When you're scrolling Pinterest or flipping through a magazine for outfit ideas or anything like that, it's really easy to get into that comparison spiral loop, which I talked about a couple weeks ago. So feel free to go jump in and watch that if you haven't. But you go from inspiration, which is the purpose why you showed up there, to the opposite, where you're like, I really hate everything in my closet. I have nothing to wear. And that can happen in a span of just 5 minutes, right? And so today I really want to help you break that cycle, because the clothing that we've been putting on our bodies here in this season, it doesn't have to feel harsh. You don't have to have fabrics that feel clingy. And I want you to love looking at yourself in the mirror, right? And so we're going to be getting rid of all that shame and the blame and learn how to honor the body that we currently have, even if you're working towards a different body. We want clothes that are going to support you instead of fight you. And so just to be clear, if your clothes don't fit your body right now, like, this is not a problem with your body. Okay. It's the problem with the clothes. And so I want to introduce myself. I'm Michelle Rose, and today I'm keeping things really simple. We're just building a menopause-smart capsule wardrobe for 2026. One that loves your body, the body that's changing and fits your real life. And it doesn't require you to like keep up with all the trends, keep up with Pinterest or whatever Hollywood is wearing that week. And so if you're thinking like, Michelle, I'm not stylish, I'm not trendy, I don't even know where to start, perfect. Like, that is what this whole episode was built for. And so let me just say up front, though, I'm not coming at you from having a fashion model closet myself. My closet is just 12 inches wide. It's about this wide. I live in a travel trailer, and it does hold 4 seasons. And so if I can make a capsule wardrobe work, we can definitely make one work for you too. And so here's what I think is happening for a lot of us. We're trying to solve a new body season with old body rules. And then when it's not working, we blame ourselves and we spiral and we think we've done something wrong or there's something wrong with our bodies. And that is simply not true. God designs our bodies perfectly. There's nothing wrong with them. And when we compare ourselves, it kind of makes things worse, right? Because it convinces you that everyone else has this completely figured out, and you're the only one standing in front of the closet feeling completely defeated. And so today we're just going to be talking about this in a completely different way. And we're going to be choosing peace over pressure. I know that that is a common motto we've heard across the internet, and I'm sure it was probably derived by AI, but peace over pressure really is a great way to look at how we get dressed in the morning. Okay. And so if your clothes don't fit your body right now, the problem is not your body. I want to remind you, it is your clothes. Now, let me just tell you what I mean when I talk about a menopause-smart style, just for anyone who's questioning that. It means clothes that let you breathe. They're not squishing you in, and they don't punish you when you're bloated. They work whether you're having a hot flash kind of day and you feel polished without trying hard. You're not going to feel dumpy and weird like you're just trying to hide something. I want you to start cooperating and partnering and celebrating your body. And so let's go ahead and talk about what the word capsule for a second means. And I won't dwell on this because I know a lot of us do know what this means. But I just want to make it simple for you guys, right? Because I know the word capsule can make a lot of people tense up. And I'm not asking you to like shrink down your closet if you have a beautiful walk-in closet. But here is a simple definition, okay? A capsule wardrobe is a collection of pieces that mix and match really easily so that you can get dressed without overthinking. All right? So it doesn't even matter what size your closet is. It's just a collection of pieces that mix and match. And so I want to tell you what a capsule is not as well, because there's so much weird pressure online about this. It's not going to be boring. It's not beige. I know several weeks ago back in the Christmas season, I had on a guest and her daughter says, be fireworks and sunshine in a world full of beige. And so I don't want you wearing beige either. Okay. Unless if you love beige and you feel great in beige. But a capsule is also not about being a minimalist if that is not who you are. Okay. And it's definitely not, you can only, only own 12 things and you're not allowed to have any fun, right? Like that's not it. But a capsule is a system. It's a shortcut. It's a life hack. And so it means fewer decisions and more outfits that you like so that you can just get up every morning, throw on anything in your closet and you feel like $1,000,000. And this is why it's so smart for 2026. A lot of us are dealing with financial strain and things like that, but you build this classic core. And then if you want to play with trends, you can, right? You're going to do that with certain pieces and accessories and it makes it totally easy. But at the core is what, makes the capsule work really well. And so you're going to find something that you love and learn how to highlight it with your wardrobe. So before I teach the formula though, I want to make this super personal because a capsule should match who you are and not who Pinterest says you should be. So tell me in the chat if you want to, when you get dressed, what do you want your clothes to say about you that day? If you're going to the gym, what do you want your clothes to say about you when you're at the gym or when you're at work or when you're at church? Okay. So feel free to type one word, anything like polished, peaceful, confident, strong, creative, feminine, approachable, whatever. And I love when women are able to put those words out there because it allows us to celebrate each other when we do show up that way because we are always evolving. You're either becoming um, the person you want to be, or you're becoming more and more the person you don't want to be, right? And so just being able to put that word out there helps you kind of have a target for where you're trying to go. But I want you to keep that word in your mind as we talk today, because as I teach you about a menopause-smart capsule wardrobe and the formula, the goal is that your closet starts supporting that version of you. And so I'm going to teach you that formula really quick because I live in a travel trailer with a 12-inch closet. So this is like real life approved. Okay. And so we're going to start with step one. And that's the base, right? These are the pieces that do the heavy lifting of the main majority part of your wardrobe. And it's going to feel really simple. These are, your everyday workhorses, the pieces that touch your body the most, that are right up against your body. And in menopause seasons, the base matters more than anything because it helps you either feel supported and comfortable or annoyed all day. So that's where if it's clingy or scratchy or anything like that. So the two bases that you're going to be looking at are your bottoms and your tops. Okay. We're going to talk bottoms first. Here are some smart categories, but of course there are more options to choose from. But one is to find a really good structured stretch pant. And this is I want to feel put together no matter how comfortable I feel. Like this pant needs to feel breathable. And so I find that Ponte pants are a really great fit for this because you can get them in dress style and casual style alike. And then the next bottom that you might want to add to this capsule wardrobe is a forgiving rise jean. So what I want you to do with this forgiving rise, I'm a long torsoed girl, so I need my rise to be a high rise, but you may need the low rise or mid rise or whatever. So which fit you feel the most comfortable when you sit down. If it is, squeezing and pushing, then find another fit. Try something else, right? But you want the rise that's not going to make you feel punished all day. The next one is a skirt or a dress bottom option. Okay. So this is where if you like to have fabric that moves on your body but isn't clingy, so that midi skirt is really a nice hero for most women, just to be able to feel really polished and put together and love how the results are. This is all based on you picking the silhouette that feels like home when you put it on your body. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about tops. These are the tops you put on and immediately think, yes, okay, I like this. This is it. Because I don't want you buying things that are just okay. I want you to save your money and wait till you find that item. And so one will be having a really great polished tee, one that's got a higher quality fabric, better drape. It'll be the difference between I'm just fine and comfortable to I really look like I have shown up for myself today. And a lot of these t-shirts, I find some of them have a lining in them. And then another one would be like a shape-friendly top. So it could be a V-neck, a wrap style, a button-up, or even something that's got a little more structure in the shoulder. But this is something that holds shape for your body, helps you give that nice illusion of an hourglass figure in a way that is not actually squeezing you into that, right? One that you're not going to have to wear shapewear to enjoy, because ideally we find the right fits. And if you want help with that, reach out because I'm really good at help find out what that will be for you. And then the third is just a layering friendly top. And depending on where you live, this could be a really great tank top or sleeveless shirt, all the way down to short sleeve or long sleeve. But it's something that no matter what kind of day it is, if you're having one of those hot flash days, you'd be able to take a layer off and still feel presentable and you're not embarrassed by how you look. So when you're thinking about like the word that you picked, if it's polished or whatever, that's the mindset of how you're going to go shopping. So I have shirts for days where I'm going to be at the gym and I just want to feel confident about the work I'm going to try to do, right? And I'm not doing it to impress anybody. I'm just doing it to make myself show up in the way I want to when I'm at the gym. Same thing with when I'm at church. I want to feel a little bit more polished, like I'm going on a date night, because that's what it feels like when I show up at church and I go to worship my Lord. I want to honor him with showing up in that manner. So a word polished might be a word that I would think through when I buy those tops. And so I hope that kind of helps. So we've talked about the base. Part 2 is the frame. These are those finishers that create shape and polish really quickly without any effort. And so this is kind of the secret sauce to a capsule wardrobe. It's going to make you look totally put together in 30 seconds. And it also helps with whether you've gained weight or lost weight. It helps with proportions. So you kind of don't have to worry too much about keeping up with these finisher pieces. And so one might be the structured finisher. That's if you need a blazer or a nice quality denim jacket or a nice utility jacket, something that has like backbone to the piece that you're going to be finishing with. And then there's a lot of people who like that soft finisher piece, right? They're your cardigans, your knit blazers, a cashmere sweater, long line vest, right? Something that's a little bit more forgiving, but looks intentional, like you're trying. And then there's a weather finisher. This is like a coat, a puffer vest, a trench, or a rain jacket, right? Something that's going to make you ready for the weather, but still look cute. And so these are going to be your best friends for no matter what the temperature is that day. Again, going back to hot flash or not hot flash, you'll be able to take off these layers when necessary to feel like yourself. So the next step is the spark part of the formula. And these are going to be like your accessories that help you keep up with the trends. This is where you get to have fun, and it also is where you get to show the personality of who you are in these pieces. So this will be like your shoes. You want to pick a couple of different shoes. You've got your casual shoes, your polished shoes, your comfort weather shoes, your fitness shoes, right? And then neck pieces. So when I say neck piece, I'm not necessarily talking about necklaces, but that is part of it. But it could be a scarf or a pendant, or even really long drop earrings that draw attention to your neckline and collarbone area. So it's drawing that attention up and away. And then a lot of people like to have what I call the jewelry uniform. And this is simply just a couple of basic pieces that make you feel like you're completely put together. I rarely, even though I'm doing it today, wear a necklace and earrings at the same time. For some reason, that feels like too much going on at once, even though I love it when it's on someone else. But what I do like is a good pair of earrings with a bracelet. And so I do have a couple of earrings and bracelets that I always wear together as my jewelry uniform. And then there's like bags and belts and things like that, right? And of course, if belts feel too clingy or too weird for now, that's fine. You don't have to do that. We never want our capsule to bully us because our inner mean girl's always talking anyway, right? But you don't have to have, if you don't want to, a drawer full of accessories. This is just where you get to play and you get to be different than everyone else. And so here's my 3-second outfit formula. We just talked about it, right? It's the base plus the frame plus the spark equals your outfit. And so if you've got those pieces in your wardrobe and they're done in a way that you're able to have the colors be mix and match, it doesn't matter what you're grabbing out of your closet. You're just going to look really fabulous. Okay. So here's a few examples: stretch pant, polished tee, denim jacket, and sneakers. Right. And so that's how I want you to think. And all it takes is swapping out one piece and that whole outfit changes. So it could be forgiving rise jeans, polished tee, denim jacket, sneakers. And of course, all of those spark pieces with the jewelry changes it too. And so that's how come I can get away with 12 inches of closet and look like I have a whole wardrobe that is always ever changing. And that's a 4-season closet. I want you to feel confident that this isn't going to cost a lot, but it really is important to just help you show up in your life in a way that you can feel confident and bold in every step you take every day. And so my rule for how I operate with my capsule wardrobe is I pick 1 or 2 color families that kind of complement each other, and I have 1 neutral. So my neutral is just black. I love black. I know that it can feel too heavy for a lot of people, so it could be beige, it could be white, it could be anything you want. But you pick 1 main neutral color family and then 1 or 2 accent color families, and maybe have a print that you like to throw in every once in a while. But that way it just takes the guesswork out and it doesn't overcomplicate things. And also it's really important to know how, like I call it the layering ladder. It's simply like you have a tank, a tee, a long sleeve, a sweater, a finisher, and then your weather coat, right? So when I go over to Europe in the winter times, you never know how to pack. And so as long as you've got enough of that, you don't have to wear the tank and the tee and the long sleeve shirt every day, but you can kind of start mixing and matching those in a way that even on your coldest of days, you've got plenty, but I pack in a way that I can go without having to worry about laundry or clothes. So that's the formula: base, frame, spark. Okay. So I like to remind you that I have a worksheet for today's episode, and it's really simple without being overwhelming. Walks you through choosing like your 3-step outfit formula pieces for your life. And so you can go grab that in the Facebook group in the files section. And here's what I love, because there is this magic in community that happens when we all get involved. And so I want you, if you feel up to it, to post 1 of your capsule outfits that you've put together after today's message. And then that way we can cheer you on, we can get inspired, maybe throw out the name of the store that you bought it at so that you can save these other women from frustration and constantly feeling like there's nothing out there that fits our bodies. All right. So now that you have the formula, let's go ahead and talk about the part that can feel tricky in midlife, right? Because the capsule that we just talked about works for everyone. But now here's where that menopause style fit comes into play. Because your body can feel totally different from one day to the next, whether you've got bloating or anything like that. And also what worked last year might not work this year or even tomorrow. Right. So instead of putting yourself in a body type box, we're going to be talking about a kinder way to dress based on your goal for the day. I'm going to give you 4 options, and you can choose one depending on your mood and your comfort level and what your body is going to do that day. And I want you to hear this because it's okay to rotate these, but here are the goals: skim, lift, and lengthen. And I will walk through each one of those and what they mean. But define is when you want shape without all the squeeze. And so you're going to be trying to find ways that draw attention to the waistline. It's just the style lines and the structures and the soft cues that create these waistbands. And so things like wrap tops or even just the front tuck without your whole shirt being tucked, cropped jackets, or just a belt over a long sweater cardigan. So these draw lines through the structure of the piece. But the things you want to avoid if you're looking for a defined day is something that's super clingy and, draws a lot of attention to your middle. Things like tight elastic waistbands that roll up and act weird. So we're not trying to hide your belly. We're actually trying to create a waist with intention. So the second goals in an outfit is to skim our bodies. So this is when you want ease and movement with confidence, right? So this is going to be more like your resort wear. Those are the days that you just kind of want to float, and these are good for bloat friendly days, hot flash days, but still want to look cute without feeling like you have to live in your pajamas. So your fabrics, they're not going to cling or grab onto your skin anywhere. This is going to look like things like straight leg pants or wide leg pants. Sometimes you may want structure to have that finishing, polishing effect, but then other times you may want that fluid fabric. Midi skirts are really great for this. And then, of course, shirts that have shape but don't necessarily cling. So like your dolman sleeves, a relaxed button-up shirt, maybe a tunic length shirt that you're throwing a cute little finisher jacket on top of. And so this is how you're going to look polished and put together without having all that cling, right? So you're going to have relaxed fit days. The next goal might be lift. And what does that even mean, right? This is when you want to have like tall, strong posture. You may have a meeting with someone that day that you want to look bold, strong, and polished in a way that you just carry a presence about you. And so this is going to help you carry that energy that holds you all together and holds you tall. Okay. And so this is where you want to put a lot of structure into your fabrication and the style lines of your shirts, but also you want to keep all your eyes moving upward. So this is when you're going to use your accessories to keep everything neck up, right? And so this might look like that structured topper we talked about, where you're wearing a blazer or quality denim jacket or a utility jacket, where you've got a neckline in a shirt that opens up like a boat neck, scoop neck, or a collared neck. And then this is where like your necklaces, your scarves, and your nice earrings come into play. And then what you'll want to do is have shoes that hold a lot of structure but don't draw attention to themselves. And so these are the days that you just don't want to feel frumpy. You want to have the whole outfit come together. And then the fourth goal we mentioned is lengthen. This is when you want to feel tall and proportionate. But lengthen is for those days that you just want to have that long, lean, elegant line. And whether you're tall or not, you want to have that appearance of looking tall. And so you're going to have balance in your outfit in a way that does that. And so here's how you do it, right? You're going to use longer lines and lower contrast in your colors and patterns. And it's designed this way on purpose to not have your eyes drawn up or down. It's just to keep them in a fluid motion where everything is seamless. Okay. So this is where like monochromatic colors and outfits work out really great, or having long line toppers and shirts in a way that nothing cuts you short on the waist. And so straight leg bottoms, wide leg bottoms do a great job here as well. Things that just have a clean hemline and don't draw attention to the hemline. And then, of course, shoes that are the same color as your pant color work really great because they just keep that visual appearance of really long legs. And so this is where you want to have that effortless and elegant feel. And so what you need to do is pick your goal, whether it's define, skim, lift, or lengthen, and put it into that formula we talked about. So you've got your base, your frame, your spark, and your goal is now your outfit. Okay. And so that is what I've been trying to build towards here in a way that gives you kind of like few pieces, but tons of variety, tons of options in a way that you just don't get bored or feel like just a few pieces won't make an effect, because they really do. All you have to do is get on Pinterest and search the word capsule and see how many outfits and varieties can come out of just a few pieces. You just need to have a way and a formula and a structure and a plan to be able to support the woman that you're becoming or trying to become. And so this is where that mirror stops being a judge in a courtroom, right? And you can start using that mirror as a tool to be able to see, is this actually presenting the goal that I had in mind? It's just really fun. You get to build on top of this foundation and start from here. So if you want to feel polished, you may want a pearl necklace in your wardrobe. And so that's where it's nice to be able to take that word and be able to display it on your body and show as an expression of who you are or who you want to become that day. And it's taking who you are on the inside and being able to reflect it on the outside in a way that feels authentic and true. And so this is your homework. And it's easy homework. It's fun homework. Inside the Facebook group, post one outfit picture of yourself and then go cheer each other on and borrow ideas and this makes it doable, right? When you see others doing it and you can go, that looks so effortless. I can do it too. Okay. And so I just want to say this before we wrap up. You don't need a perfect body. That's exactly what I wanted to address here today. You just have to have clothes and a style and a plan for how to reflect who you are. And then when you have that, people aren't paying attention to your body. They're paying attention to the beautiful, fabulous woman that you are, that God created you to be. And I hope that today was helpful. If you want to reach out to me though, Michelle at Michelle Day Rose, if you want more one-on-one work to help with this. If you loved the capsule formula today, you're going to love next week, because we're going to be talking confidence in a way that it's not confidence that you're going to wear, but it's also something that you can do. So we're going to be teaching you 2 strength moves in your fitness area that you can do each week, that's simple and will literally change your future, how you feel about yourself. And it's going to be stuff where you won't even need a gym membership. I can't wait to see you guys next week.